never sleeps. It's a vibrant city and a magnet for tourists. More than 9 million visitors descended on the city last year, and the number is rising. 1 in every 5 is under 30. Many come for the nightlife. The Watergate is a club in the western part of the city. Every weekend, hundreds of people dance the night away to the DJ's music, which later gets released under the club's own record label.
We're trying to recreate the feeling of the club. It's something that you can take away a CD and you can listen to it, close your eyes, and imagine that you are here on the dance floor. It's hard to kind of take a whole night, a whole party, and put it down into 1 hour on a CD. But that was the idea, just to create the feeling of the club in small form on your home stereo.
The Watergate record label was launched in 2008. The label only publishes music that is played at the club and regularly releases compilation CDs. It's all electronic. The club can't boast large rooms or legions of employees, but in the digital age, even a one-man band can draw a crowd.
We don't have to live from the income, unlike a normal label. We finance ourselves through the club, through the money it takes in, so that means we can do more than someone who's dependent on making money to live off.
Watergate only produces 6,500 copies of each album it releases, far less than big music labels. But journalist Thorsten Groß says its modest scale does not mean that Watergate can't set standards that will later influence mainstream production.
Club labels can't compete with the big record companies, but that's not their aim. For a number of years now, we've observed a trend towards the development of niches, which is very important when it comes to establishing and preserving a subgenre. Labels can do a lot here, and they're an important part of the music scene.
The Berlin club Berghain has also been very influential. In 2009, the British magazine DJ Mag named it the best club in the world. Berghain also has its own label, called the Ostgut Ton. Apart from domestic demand, the music is also selling well in Britain and Japan.
It's a fairly obvious idea because the infrastructure of a club is not so dissimilar to that of a record label. You have DJs and producers rubbing shoulders, and so it's relatively easy to tap into that. Plus, there were already clubs that had labels before. Or there were other labels who worked together with clubs.
It was at the beginning of the 1990s that electronic music first became mainstream and a mass product, with numerous club compilations. The Cocoon Club in Frankfurt, set up by DJ Sven Fate, was one of the first club labels in Germany.
This sort of thing also serves as part of the club's corporate identity, of course. And it's also a marketing tool. And these days, with party tourists and cheap airlines, the albums are like electronic or vinyl postcards.
Postcards that are well received. When the Berghain label held a party in London to celebrate the release of a new record, the event sold out days in advance. The Watergate label also goes on tour regularly. That has served to boost the club's reputation and attract new visitors. It's a trend from which Berlin as a city has also profited.
The benefit is definitely the cultural work that's being done. We're making a certain musical statement. We help support all the artists, most of whom also come from Berlin. And because we strengthen the clubs here, and the clubs ensure things happen in Berlin, like that the tourists come, the club labels also contribute to the city's success, financially as well.
3 clubs in the German capital run their own record label. One of them, the Bar 25, has since had to close its doors. But the label is still going strong and helping to entice visitors to spend a night out in Berlin.